Harshita Dwivedi, 1921 batch. On behalf of the Department of MBA, we welcome our distinguished guests, alumni, and all the faculty members join the program. Ms. Shweta Singh, she is one of the bright students of our department during her stay with IMT. Now, currently she is working with Akash Baizu as pre-sales associate, and Ms. Harshita Dwivedi, she is again bright alumna, bright student of our department.
I think sir disconnect हो गए हैं. There's some issue.
Network issue.
Harshita?
Yes,
please,
ma'am.
Brief me about yourself.
Okay.
Tell our students about yourself.
Sure, sir.
Okay. And there's some network issues. So on behalf of the Department of MBA, we welcome you. And I want to start my conversation with Shweta. Your area of specialization was what?
Sir, finance and marketing. So my
Finance and marketing.
Yes, sir.
So tell me, what are the different career options available if a student choose finance and marketing as the area of specialization? So what are the current prospects, current job available in that particular field, finance and marketing? Please, Shweta.
सर फाइनेंस में तो सर एक्चुअली काफी स्कोप है सर. अगर सर थोड़ी प्रॉब्लम्स आती हैं फाइनेंस में क्योंकि सर थोड़ा एक्सपीरियंस ज्यादा मैटर करता है. एक्सपीरियंस अगर रहता है तो फिर हाँ सर. और एक्चुअली कहीं भी सर स्टार्टिंग में सर प्रॉब्लम्स तो आती ही हैं. कोई भी कंपनी हो सर. और अगर लेकिन अच्छी कंपनी अगर आपको मिल जाती है मेरे हिसाब से तो फिर सर ग्रोथ काफी अच्छी हो. और सर मेरे हिसाब से मुझे लगता है ना सर स्टार्टिंग अगर करनी चाहिए तो किसी छोटी कंपनी से ही करनी चाहिए क्योंकि सर वहां हमें सीखने को बहुत कुछ मिलता है. और जब हम सीख जाते हैं क्योंकि सर अगर हम डायरेक्ट बड़ी कंपनी में जाते हैं तो सर वहां पे हमें इतना सीखने को नहीं मिलता मेरे हिसाब से. वहां पे वो डायरेक्टली उन्हें काम चाहिए होता है. उन्हें काम से मतलब होता है. तो इसीलिए सर मेरे हिसाब से पहले छोटी कंपनी में जॉब करें, वहां पे सीखे चीजों को, देन फिर एक एक्सपीरियंस होने के बाद सर बड़ी कंपनी में जाना काफी अच्छा होता है मेरे हिसाब से सर. और सर एक्चुअली मैंने स्टार्ट भी किया था सर. तो एक बजाज कैपिटल से कंपनी है, उसमें मैंने स्टार्ट किया था. वो एक इंश्योरेंस कंपनी है और सर काफी अच्छा एक्सपीरियंस रहा वहाँ पे. फिर सर मुझे बायजूस से सर मुझे ऑफर आया. देन यहाँ पे मैंने अप्लाई किया. देन मेरे यहाँ सिलेक्शन भी हो गया. सर यहाँ भी काफी अच्छा सर है, स्कोप यहाँ भी काफी अच्छा है. और सर यहाँ मैनेजर बनने के भी चांसेस काफी अच्छे हैं. डायरेक्टली मतलब 6 मंथ्स के बाद ही सर उन्होंने बोला है कि मैनेजर के लिए भी आप अप्लाई कर सकते हो. आपके परफॉर्मेंस पे वो डिपेंड करेगा. सो सर हाँ सर मेरे हिसाब से सर छोटी कंपनी से स्टार्टिंग करना ज्यादा अच्छा होता है, वो चाहे फाइनेंस में हो या फिर मार्केटिंग में हो. Yes, sir.
Okay, it means for a student initially they try to join average organization, not large,
Yes,
and
sir.
learn from there, and then try to switch over to another big
Yes, sir.
organization.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Now, Harshita, you are at IIT Jammu, one of the premier education institution, premier engineering institution of India. How's your experience with IIT Jammu, and how you got selection at IIT Jammu?
So sir, IIT is known as very reputed organization all across India. So they have their in IITs they have a first I will just brief you about how the recruiting is done in all the IITs across India, because I think this is going to be beneficial for the students who are appearing in the fourth semester exam. At this time they will be appearing. So all the IITs have, they have a teaching staff and then they have a non-teaching staff. So the teaching staff consists of our professors and all the teachers and associate professors. Then we have the non-teaching staff, which works at the back end of the institution. They look after the administration, the recruitment, even the placement cell comes under that. So wahan pe they need a lot of people who work. They form, a kind of backbone for the IITs, and all the paperwork, all the documents, everything which is done by them. So all the IITs, they put up their advertisements. They have their vacancies for the assistants, for senior assistants, for junior assistants, as per your qualification, your experience, your, level of work. So that is how I came across IIT Jammu. Actually, I came to Jammu in November and I came across their advertisement. So I applied for it. Then they called me for the interview. And after the interview, I got selected. So my selection was done on the basis of I have been an outsource employee. To be a regular employee, there is a different approach for recruiting regular employees. They have to write a written exam. And then you become a central government, because the employees who are working in IITs are actually permanent. You will be working throughout the time. So that is how, and it is, you get a job security also, plus you get all the benefits which a central government employee is getting. So I think for the people who are appearing for the fourth semester exam right now in IIMT college, they can have a look at the advertisement. I think for now, IIT Jammu has not yet released any advertisement, but I was going through in the morning. IIT Kharagpur has just released an advertisement about 40 vacancies for the post of junior assistant. And I think for junior assistant level, it is for people who are passing out of MBA, it is going to be a great opportunity to learn more and to, know more about this field, get into it. And if you become a permanent employee, then good enough. Everybody wants a job security plus a good salary package is what you expect. So I think it will be a great if you want to get into IITs as a non-teaching staff recruiting section, sir.
Okay, very nice, Harshita. My question is, suppose students they want to join PSUs or any government organization, so how they can prepare for it? What are the success mantra to get a job in PSUs as well as in other government organization, government department?
So sir, we are doing MBA to enhance our personalities. That is one of the major goal of getting into MBA. Plus the subjects we are getting to study is something that will be utilized while we are working in different organizations. If you want to prepare for government jobs and government sectors, the first and the foremost thing when you're doing is MBA is you have to improve your soft skills. You have to be very good in your personality development classes, which we had in our IIMT college. They were very beneficial actually. And the third most thing is you have to be very good in communication and you have to be confident that I am capable of doing this, I can crack this. There were few people because it is just 10 months, 11 months back, I was a student in MBA. I was also sitting at that position where every student is sitting right now. Even I was wondering, are placement hogi ki nahi, kaisi hogi, theek hogi, package milega ki nahi. I think every student is worried about that. So to answer that question is you answer it yourself. You are capable of knowing ki okay, if I'm able to do this, if I'm capable of doing this, I'm understanding this, then I can get into this organization. The first and foremost thing is you have to find out what is the field you are good at, and then you enter that. What interests you. It is not like ki theek hai, everybody is doing that, okay, let me also get through that. You might not enjoy that work. and at the end of the day you won't be satisfied. So first and foremost thing is you have to find, after doing MBA, what I thought was, okay, there is corporate sector, there is bank, then there is government sector. So I was more comfortable in government sector than the private sector. It is all choices of opinions which you have got. So that is why I decided to go for central government employees. But since, Shweta, she is working in Byju's, she has a good, she wanted to get into that, learn how private, how corporates are working, how the newly organizations are working, how they are performing. Even I had a chance of working with when I passed out, when I completed my MBA, I had a chance of working with a startup. So they were, the name is Avanti. So it was formed by IIT Bombay alumni only. So I had a chance of working with them, and somehow I was not able to relate with that work a lot. And I thought, I could do better than this. And then I had to leave it. Then I waited for 2-3 months, and that is how I came to know about IIT Jammu, and I got through this. So it is basically, at this point, I think every student is confused. And one more thing is that IMT, College of Engineering, they have a very good placement cell. So because I remember they used to be very active, they used to tell us, please attend the drives, and whatever is happening, आप लोग attend करो. Although COVID था, we couldn't almost come to college for almost 1 year, but we were called, we were intimidated through emails that you have to attend the drive. And I have a lot of friends in my classes who have actually got a good package through placement drives in IIMT college also. So I think every student must stay attentive, because क्या होता है during exams, जब अभी आपके 4th semester के exams चलेंगे, तो उनके बीच में भी placement drives होंगी. So you have to be very aware of it, because those drives are very important. If you attend them, they give good package. If you get through that, you will also have a good start in your career, and then you can gradually climb up that ladder and grow in that field. So that is what I want to say, sir.
Very nice, Harshita. Well said. My question to you, Shweta, what do you want to suggest to students if they want to join a corporate or private sector organization? So what type of preparations are required to join a corporate sector?
ओके सर सर एक्चुअली मेरे ख्याल से कॉर्पोरेट सेक्टर में सर ज्वाइन करने के लिए सबसे पहली जो चीज होती है सर कि सर प्रैक्टिस बहुत ज्यादा मैटर करती है सर. और सर देखिए जैसा कि हर्षिता ने कहा, बिल्कुल सही कहा कि सर क्लास में अटेंड करना सर. और सर आईएमटी मेरे ख्याल से सर बहुत ही अच्छा कॉलेज था सर, जो कि इतना ज्यादा प्रेशराइज करता था कि नहीं कॉलेज आना है, कॉलेज आना है. और सर मुझे याद है सर एक बार हॉस्टल में सर आप आ गए थे, छोड़िए सर आप, कि नहीं हॉस्टल वाले सारे स्टूडेंट्स को आने हैं, यहीं रह के आप लोग नहीं आते हो. तो सर मुझे सर वो कहीं ना कहीं सर पहले लगता था कि नहीं हमें नहीं जाना चाहिए, छोटी कह. बट सर अब लगता है कि नहीं, उसी की वजह से आज शायद हम यहाँ पे कॉर्पोरेट सेक्टर में हम सरवाइव कर पा रहे हैं. हमने क्लासेस अटेंड की और सर वहाँ पे हमने काफी कुछ सीखा. सर मिशेल मैम थी, वो हमारी पर्सनैलिटी डिपार्टमेंट की जो टीचर थी सर, वो बहुत अच्छी थी सर. उन्होंने हमें काफी सर हमारी पर्सनैलिटी में हेल्प किया कि कैसे करना है, कैसे बोलना है. सर पहले एक्चुअली क्या था सर, स्टार्टिंग में मैं बहुत शाई नेचर की थी सर, मुझे बोलने में भी सर डर लगता था एंड किसी के सामने. और सर मैं गर्ल्स स्कूल से पढ़ के गर्ल्स कॉलेज से पढ़ के गई थी. एक्चुअली मेरा ग्रेजुएशन भी, स्कूलिंग भी सर गर्ल्स कॉलेज से ही हुआ था, गर्ल्स स्कूल से हुआ था. तो सर थोड़ा बॉयज से इंटरेक्ट करने में भी सर प्रॉब्लम्स आती थी. बट सर आईएमटी में सर देखा जाए तो सर टीचर के साथ साथ सर स्टूडेंट्स भी काफी अच्छे थे सर, काफी कॉर्पोरेट मतलब काफी अच्छे थे हर एक चीज में सर. तो काफी अच्छा लगता था उनसे. और सर कभी सोचा नहीं था सर कि मैं जॉब भी कर पाऊंगी. बट सर ये सब कुछ मेरे ख्याल से आईएमटी में सर इतना जो सर केएन चौबे सर हैं, पूनम मैम है सर, ये लोग सर, और सर आप हैं, और सर आर के तोमर सर थे सर. आप लोग काफी अच्छे थे सर, आप ही लोग के बदौलत सर हम यहाँ पे पहुंच पाए हैं. और सर मेरे ख्याल से कॉर्पोरेट सेक्टर में आने के लिए सर बेसिकली यही ज्यादा जरूरी होता है कि अटेंटिव रहो क्लास में, प्लस अपने पर्सनालिटी पे ज्यादा फोकस करो, क्योंकि सर पर्सनैलिटी बहुत ज़्यादा मैटर करती है। और सर बस यही कहना चाहेंगे। और सर यही, और सर जो बेसिकली सबसे बड़ी चीज़ मैंने जो सर बोली थी कि सर स्टार्टिंग करो तो ऐसी जगह से स्टार्ट करो जहाँ पे कि आपको लगे कि हाँ, यहाँ से मुझे कुछ सीखने को मिलेगा। सर ऐसी जगह से नहीं कि डायरेक्ट हम बहुत बड़ी कंपनी में चले गए हैं और वहां हमें कुछ सीखने को ही नहीं मिल रहा है। तो सर मेरे ख्याल से ये कहीं ना कहीं ये बहुत मेजर प्रॉब्लम आती है कि सर वहां पे, क्योंकि क्या होता है, एम्प्लॉय भी इतना ध्यान नहीं देते हैं आपके ऊपर। तो सर अगर हम खुद सीख के गए हुए होते हैं तो हमारे ऊपर भी फोकस किया जाता है कि नहीं, ये बंदा कर सकता है, ये इंसान कर सकता है, पहले करके आया हुआ है। तो सर मेरे ख्याल से ये काफी अच्छा होता है, पहले से करके जाना। यस सर।
मैं चौबे सर से रिक्वेस्ट, मैं would like to request चौबे सर, please interact with their past students. चौबे सर, please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
First, I'd like to speak to Harshita. I remember many times I vividly recall that you've been my brightest student in HR stream. Sorry. And definitely we were looking forward for a big surprises to us, and it was really, you gave a surprise that you are in IIT Jammu, and so that gave us a lot of happiness. And I'm sure you must be, this is just beginning. As far as you're concerned, this is just beginning. But in so quick time, you have learned so much of how to go about your future jobs and the kind of suggestion that you have given. I will request you to elaborate a little bit more about as to what you found good during your MBA degree program, which we as teachers must continue with, or rather reinforce more, so that your juniors perform better in time to come. Harshita.
Sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Harshita.
Sir, I will just take a minute. I have been taught by Professor Jitendra also. He was taking our economic classes, and sir has been a very calm and patient teacher. As far as I remember, because sir काफी शांति से, there are kids in the class, in every class there are kids who are very, they are creating disturbance, but I think sir has been very patient and amazing in teaching us economics. And I think being from a science background, मुझे अभी तक जितनी भी economics समझ आई, it is because of Jitendra sir. So that is how I'm able to. And
thank you, Harshit. Thanks a lot.
And because my major was HR, so what Chaube sir has taught me has played a very major role in me getting through the work I'm doing right now. In fact, when I'm doing my work, there are times, because I'm dealing with administration, and we deal with there are acts, there are labor laws, then we have the RTI, we have to read all these things, and kuch beech mein there are cases, they come up. So when I'm reading that in the book, I'm always thinking about Chaube sir and how he used to tell us ki now you people are not paying a lot of attention, but when you work and you get into this situation, then you will remember I already taught you about this. And that is how I remember, okay, yes, Chaube sir has already always told us कि this will help you in wherever you go, wherever you are working. अब मैं लेबर लॉज पढ़ती हूँ, RTI के बारे में पढ़ती हूँ, कि कंपनी एक्ट पढ़ती हूँ, तो I remember, and it is very nice. It's very nice to see कि we have paid attention to his class and now we can relate to it, because जब हम class में रहते हैं, we can actually not relate to, we are just reading the topics, we are reading it on the board, है ना, people, teachers are teaching us, but when we get into an organization and we do it practically, then we actually understand what is the actual benefit and what is the use, how is the whole process is working. So I would like to give a big thank you to Chaube sir also for being a great teacher, and he's a very active teacher. He has always been a very active teacher. So sir, thank you to you. And yes, regarding the question, I would say that we had a very good faculty in IMT college while I was doing my MBA. So we had the first and foremost thing I would tell every student is to pay attention to their personality development classes, because they are very, very beneficial for you. You won't remember, they will tell you that you have to stand like this in an interview, you have to sit like this, you have to get up, you have to talk in a certain way. You will feel तब आपको इतना serious ना लगे, but when a day of your interview arrives, then you will feel a little nervous, कि okay ठीक है. But if you have done your PDP classes, if you have gone through the PDP classes, even 3 or 4 classes, you will have a lot of change in your personality. Things will start running in your mind when you actually go for your interview. You will say, okay, I've been taught, sir ne aise bataya tha that I have to stand this way, I cannot sit until they ask me to sit. So personality development classes were very, very essential. And for the first years also, I will tell them you can pay attention from now on if you are not, because they are very important for your future in whatever organization you get. The second thing is the MS Office. You have to be skilled in MS Excel, MS Word, MS PowerPoint, because if you work in any organization, this is forming everything is done on MS Office, everything. Excel, Word, these are even we are working on that. And Excel is filled with so many things that even we are not aware of till now. So what लोग हमारे IIT जम्मू में they are actually having a training for employees to get to know Microsoft Office more. And IIMT में we had classes for MS Office, and we attended few classes, but because of COVID we couldn't go to college for almost a year. And जो भी हमने attend किया था, that was all I could remember, and we had covered a good syllabus. So I think PDP and MS Office, they are going to form a very strong background when you start working in any organization. So be it any organization, government sector or private sector, they will form a very good form of foundation when you start working there. And then the faculty has been very great. We have been taught accounts by Poonam ma'am, and she is a very great teacher. And I was expecting to see Poonam ma'am and Richa ma'am also today, but they are not here. But they are very good. Richa ma'am is also, she
Richa ma'am is available. I
Hi,
think she joined.
Arshita, I'm here. I'm
Okay,
listening
okay,
to
okay.
you.
Oh, ma'am, I just saw. Okay. Hi, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Hi. I'm here and I'm listening to you and I'm finding it like आप मानोगे नहीं, but I have so many times been asking where is Harshita and your friend Gracie. I miss you all.
Ma'am, we miss you too. Ma'am, Gracie is in Delhi only. She's there. She's working in some private firm. I am in touch with her. I'm in touch with lot of people, and we also miss you a lot. We miss all of you. We always talk about you, कि कैसे थे हम लोग, कितने कितने अच्छे से पढ़ाते थे सब लोग. So we always talk about that. And then we had Neeru ma'am also. So she had also taken our classes. She was also a very good teacher. I think the faculties have been very great and in teaching, because they are very experienced in the field they are teaching us, and they have a good experience and all over exposure of how organizations work and how we are supposed to work in an organization to give us a good start. I think the faculty is doing a great job. And for marketing, we obviously had Tomar sir, and he was also a great teacher. And I am also in touch with him through LinkedIn actually. So that is all I have. For now, what I would say is the students, if they, they are interested, they could obviously tell the teachers that they can take extra classes, or for the person, actually for the practical exposure of how, like we have the interviews, the PDP classes can be increased, which will benefit each of the student. So because I think PDP classes are very important, and as far as the subjects are concerned, those were fine with me, and the amount of PDP classes should be increased, I think, and also the classes for MS Office, which will tell them to actually how the entire MS Office is working, and they will get to know better of how to working with computer and also. So sir, this is all I want to say for now.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Harshita. Now, I have the honor to ask Shweta. Shweta, am I audible to you?
Sir. So good afternoon.
Shweta,
Yes, sir.
as we all have heard just now, Harshita brought out the points that IMT is doing well, in the sense we are proactive to your needs in terms of providing PDP classes and MS Excel, MS Office, in addition to your curriculum. I would like to request you to dwell upon the shortcomings or the areas wherein IMT is found wanted. Means the something which, had we taken care of, then your struggle would have been little lesser. Could you just tell those areas where we need to improve upon?
सर एक्चुअली जब सर इंटर्नशिप सर हमें बहुत अच्छी मिली थी सर। इंटर्नशिप जो हमने किया था सर शेर खान लिमिटेड कंपनी से हमने किया था। वो वहाँ पे ट्रेडिंग, हाँ सर ट्रेडिंग बेसिस पे था, वहाँ पे ट्रेडिंग कराई जाती थी सर। वो सर काफ़ी अच्छा था सर वो टाइम जब हमें सर, तो हमें लगता था कि जॉब काफ़ी इजी है सर, क्योंकि वो हमें ऑलरेडी प्रोवाइड हुई थी सर IMT कॉलेज की ओर से। तो सर हमें लगा था हाँ हो सकता है, सब कुछ कर सकते हैं। बट नो सर, सर जब फिर हम वहाँ से सब निकले, फिर हमने जब सब जॉब के लिए सब, जब मैंने स्टार्टिंग किया था सर, बहुत जगह से मुझे रिजेक्शन मिला था। ऐसा नहीं है कि जाते ही तुरंत हो गया था सर, काफी जगह से रिजेक्शन मिला था कि नहीं अभी आपको और कोशिश करनी चाहिए, नहीं अभी आपको और प्रिपेयर होना पड़ेगा सर। काफी सारी प्रॉब्लम्स आई थी और सर हमें लगा भी था कि शायद ये मुझसे नहीं हो सकता है। बट सर कहीं ना कहीं जो हमारी मिशैल मैम थी, जो पर्सनालिटी डेवलपमेंट की जो हमारी टीचर थी सर, वो हमेशा कहती थी कि श्वेता तू कर सकती है, तेरे में है, तू करेगी, तू देखना तू करेगी एक दिन। सर वो काफी मोटिवेट करती थी सर, हमेशा पर्सनली वो बुलाती थी अपने पास कि जिसको ना समझ में आए सर। फैकल्टी सर देखा जाए सर, IMT के जो फैकल्टी थे सर वो बहुत अच्छे थे सर। अगर अगर हमें कोई भी प्रॉब्लम होती थी सर, हमें ऐसा लगता ही नहीं था कि नहीं मुझे डरना चाहिए, एक टीचर है, ऐसा सर कभी लगा ही नहीं सर। हम उनसे जाते थे, पर्सनली बात करते थे, तो सर हमें कहीं ना कहीं सर वो काफी ज्यादा वो दिन याद आते हैं। वो काफी हमें मोटिवेट करते थे जो टीचर्स। ये सारी चीजें सर बहुत अच्छी थी सर, जिनकी वजह से आज हम यहाँ तक पहुंच पाए हैं सर। स्टार्टिंग में बहुत प्रॉब्लम आई थी सर, मैंने जब बजाज कैपिटल में सर ज्वाइन किया था तो सर वहां पे भी सर स्टार्टिंग था, और सर स्टार्टिंग में सर करियर में काफी थोड़ी प्रॉब्लम आती है, क्योंकि हमें इतना नहीं समझ में आता है काम कैसा है, कैसे करना है। और सर जो एक्सपीरियंस्ड बंदे होते हैं सर, वो थोड़े होते हैं, एटीट्यूड होता है उनके अंदर कि नहीं मुझे तो आता है, अरे अभी तो तू कर नहीं पाएगी, कैसे करेगी, तुझसे नहीं हो पाएगा। बट सर कहीं ना कहीं हमें ये चीज है कि हाँ हम कहाँ से गए हुए हैं सर। जब हमें लगता है कि हम IMT से करके, हमारे इतने अच्छे फैकल्टी मेंबर थे, इतना अच्छा हमें उन्होंने सिखाया है, समझाया है, अगर ये कर सकते हैं तो हम क्यों नहीं कर सकते हैं सर। ये मैंने सोच के सर स्टार्टिंग किया सर। धीरे धीरे सर मुझे सब समझ में आने लगा कि क्या काम है, कैसे काम को करना है। फिर सर अभी सर आज की डेट में अगर मैं बायजूस में भी सर पहुंच पाई हूँ तो सर कहीं ना कहीं उसी की ही वजह से पहुंच पाई हूँ कि हमें कॉलेज में जो हमें मोटिवेशन मिली थी हमारे जो टीचर्स ने जो समझाया था, सिखाया था सर, उसी की वजह से आज सर यहाँ पे हम हैं, मुझे लगता है। सर प्रॉब्लम्स तो सर हर एक फील्ड में आती है सर, मेरे ख्याल से अगर स्टडी करने जाते हैं वहाँ पे भी स्टार्टिंग में प्रॉब्लम्स आती हैं, अगर सर हम कहीं जॉब करने जाते हैं वहाँ पे भी प्रॉब्लम्स आती हैं, बट सर हमें ये होता है कि फेस कैसे करना, उसको सर फेस करके उससे आगे बढ़ना। सर मुझे लगता है अगर हम फेस करके उससे आगे बढ़ गए तो फिर तो सर हमें आगे ही बढ़ना है, और अगर हम वहां रुक गए, हमने सोचा नहीं ये मुझसे नहीं हो पाएगा, अब मैं नहीं कर पाऊंगी या मैं नहीं कर पाऊंगा, तो फिर सर वहां फिर दिक्कत आती है, फिर सर वो इंसान आगे बढ़ ही नहीं सकता है। अगर उसने सोचा कि हाँ मैं यहाँ पे अगर किया हूँ, मुझे और अच्छा मैं कर सकता हूँ, देन सर वो तो उसको आगे बढ़ना ही बढ़ना है। तो सर यही मैं बोलना चाहूंगी कि सर कोई भी हो, अगर आगे बढ़ने की अगर उसके अंदर चाह है तो वो बढ़ेगा ही बढ़ेगा, उसको कोई नहीं रोक सकता है सर। और हाँ सर, सबसे मेन बात होती है कि अपने बड़ों की सर बात मानना, अपने टीचर्स की बात मानना, अपने बड़ों की बात सुनना, तो सर वो कहीं न कहीं आगे चल के हमारी लाइफ में बहुत कुछ सिखाता है, समझाता है। और सर जैसे आईएमटी में भी सर हमें आप लोगों ने जो सिखाया, समझाया कि हाँ, नहीं ये करना है तो आगे बढ़ोगी, जॉब मिलेगी। सर देखिए हर एक टीचर्स होते हैं वो यही चाहते हैं कि हमारे जो स्कूल के, हमारे जो कॉलेज के बच्चे हों, वो आगे चल के कुछ अच्छा करे, अच्छा बने। सर हर एक टीचर चाहता है, और उनके लिए हर एक बच्चा मेरे ख्याल से समान ही होता है। तो सर वो सबको एक ही चीज सिखाते हैं, बट सर वही होता है कि सर आगे चल के कुछ लोग होते हैं जिन्हें लगता है कि हाँ मैं कर सकता हूँ, कुछ लोग ऐसे भी होते हैं जिन्हें लगता है कि नहीं अब मुझे यहीं ब्रेक लेना चाहिए, मैं नहीं कर पाऊंगी। या सर ऐसा नहीं होता सर, गर्ल्स के अंदर सर एक प्रॉब्लम होती है सर, वो शादी हो जाती है तो फिर सोचती है कि नहीं अब मैं कर नहीं सकती हूँ, अब मैं जॉब नहीं कर पाऊंगी। बट सर नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है, अगर जिसको करना होता है सर वो जॉब के बाद भी सर वो सब कुछ मैनेज कर लेता है। और सर प्रॉब्लम्स तो लाइफ में आती जाती रहती हैं सर, वो तो खेल है, जिंदगी का रूल ही है ये। सर दैट्स इट।
Thank you, Shweta. Thanks a lot. And I would request Professor Jitendra Singhal sir to continue with the proceedings.
Okay, Richa ma'am, would you like to discuss? Would you like to open the conversation with Shweta? Richa ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Please.
Sir, I was just hearing to what she said that, but really I don't know her. Otherwise, I have never taught her. But yes, points were really valid as a message to the juniors who would be watching this, that they really need to understand what teachers are saying, and this is important. And we also say so that once after you join your career, then only you understand what teachers used to say, and maybe that you remember what we said. So it was well described, and I really wish her good luck for her future endeavors.
Okay, Gurpreet ma'am, would you like to discuss with both of our alumni? Gurpreet ma'am. Okay, Harshita, please discuss the importance of value-added course in MBA program, because we have PDP classes, we have quant classes, we have other syllabi-based classes, but we are also running value-added courses, value-added classes like advanced Excel, etc. So in your opinion, what the importance played by value-added course in overall development of a student?
Sir. Okay, sir. So value-added courses are basically for helping you how you are going to perform or how easy your work is going to be when you enter an organization. If you are paying a lot of attention to these classes, if I talk about the quantitative aptitude, just to be specific, so if you see what we are being taught, as sir said, if you are preparing for, you want to enter the government sector, if you are planning to enter it, then I think all of them have a syllabus of quantitative aptitude. They have a portion of their question paper which is it comprises of all the quantitative questions. So I think at that perspective you have to attend quantitative aptitude classes, because they are very important. Because kya hota hai, in corporate also they have a stage where they test your quantitative aptitude. But if you want to get into a government sector, then वहाँ पे they test it at an वो थोड़ा complex level पे test होता है. Corporate में they will test, okay, you are able to solve this, okay, fine, you can do the daily basic calculation which is needed for that organization. They say, okay, your aptitude is fine. But if you want to enter a government sector, then they have, there are work which is to be done, which is complex. So they will put you in a more tougher situation, or they will give you tough question. So to prepare for that, quantitative aptitude classes are very good, and you must attend it. And because हम लोगों को, because of corona, we were not able to attend classes very regularly. So that because us time pe there was a peak lockdown, it was a proper lockdown. We couldn't even go to college, and we actually missed our classes. And we used to say कि loss हो रहा है हमारा, because they were actually very beneficial. What I have learned in MBA, in MS Office, is what I'm doing now in my work. Plus, when you are working, when after you pass out of MBA, now you have earned your master's degree. So, that is not the end of the world. And you can't say, ki, okay, now I'm done with my education. Now I need to focus on my career. You always need to have a learning approach. If you are 30 years old, you are 40 years old, if you are working, you need to have that learning tendency. To have the thirst of learning things which are new to you. So now when I'm working in office and I am seeing something, they are doing something else. So, you should always have that hunger. You should go and ask, okay, what is happening? What is the process? Ye kya ho raha hai? How is this happening? What is actually your work and how things are done? Because it is always going to benefit you how much more information you can get about your work related conditions. So because ये जो value added courses होते हैं, they help you in the practical knowledge and how you are going to work in the organization. So it is very important. It is very, because जो हम subjects पढ़ रहे हैं, you can at the end of the day you can always Google them कि इसका definition ये है, इसको हम ऐसे calculate कर सकते हैं. But what practically you have learned, how you develop your personality, how you talk, how you walk, how you're talking to a person who is standing in front of you is what is going to make you grow in the organization where you're working. So that is very important. So I think वो उसका knowledge होना बहुत important है. And for the first year students, it is very important that you actually pay a lot of attention to your personality, how you're walking, how you're entering, how you're talking to your faculty, because there are times our faculty has been very great. ऐसा नहीं है कि if Chaube sir is teaching us HR, so he is only responsible for telling us how we are supposed to walk, how we are supposed to talk, how we are supposed to sit in class, how we are supposed to enter the class. It was, all the teachers, be it single sir, Richa ma'am, anybody, they have always told us to be, how presentable we can be, how presentable we can look when we enter an organization or we are going for an interview. So they all have helped us in this. So I think they should pay a lot of attention to what teachers are saying, how they are teaching you, what they want you to be, because when a teacher is teaching you and the teacher is always knowing every student they are teaching. They know okay, the student is, he's weak in English, so let us concentrate on that. Because हमारे class में भी they were, boys have a lot of problem with English. They will say okay, because I remember initial की हमारी जो MBA classes थी, the teachers were very open. They said you should tell us what your problem is, what you think is your field of weakness, or you think कि हाँ मुझे interview में इस चीज में दिक्कत आ सकती है. So a lot of boys said they were weak in English. They said कि being weak in English is like confidence थोड़ा down हो जाता है. So I have always, as I was there in the class, Richa ma'am उनको always बोलती थी कि you try giving presentation. आप presentation दो, presentation बनाओ, stand here, talk to us, talk in the class. It's okay if you make a mistake. So in the ongoing learning of subjects also, it was a good improvement for English. And now they are also working, the boys who were once saying in the class कि ma'am हमारी English तो बहुत weak है, तो हमें तो बड़ी दिक्कत होगी ना. I am actually in touch with all of them, and they are working in good organizations. They have a good package, so all of them are fine. And at the end of the day, we always end up thanking all of our faculties and IMT College of Engineering for giving us, such a good exposure for development of our personality. And it is obviously uplifting for our career also, sir.
Okay. Shweta, as we all know that interview is basically the integral part of any selection process. Group discussion, interview, written examination. But I think interview is the integral part of any selection process. And to crack an interview for any job, any type of job, is the important task for any student. So what type of tips, what type of suggestion you want to give to your juniors to crack an interview, and how they can prepare well to crack an interview? What type of requirement, what type of things are required to crack an interview? What do you want to suggest?
सर सबसे पहले तो सर इंटरव्यू क्रैक करने के लिए सबसे बहुत बड़ी जरूरत होती है पर्सनालिटी डेवलपमेंट सर, प्लस कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स. सर दो चीज की रिक्वायरमेंट आज की डेट में सर सबसे ज्यादा है. आपकी पर्सनालिटी सबसे पहले पर्सनालिटी, क्योंकि सर फर्स्ट इंप्रेशन इज लास्ट इंप्रेशन मेरे ख्याल से. तो सर क्या होता है ना कि सर वो पहले ही आपको देख के, पहले तो आपकी पर्सनालिटी ही देख के जज कर लेते हैं कि हाँ ये बच्चा जो है ये कर सकता है या नहीं. फिर सर आपकी कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स अगर बहुत अच्छी है देन सर, और फिर जाके सर एक होता है प्रेजेंस ऑफ माइंड. सर ये तीन चीजें सर बहुत ज्यादा मैटर करती है. अगर उन्होंने क्वेश्चन पूछा है, ये नहीं जरूरी नहीं कि आप आंसर उसका क्विक दो, मतलब कि आंसर उसका सही ही दो. सही से मतलब नहीं है, क्विक दो, और उसको क्या है कि हाँ सही तरीके में दो, एक सही वे में दो. तो सर मेरे ख्याल से ये 3 पॉइंट सर बहुत ज्यादा मैटर करती है. एक आप अगर इंटरव्यू के लिए जाते हैं तो सर अगर ये 3 पॉइंट्स पे ज्यादा फोकस किया जाए तो सर आई थिंक इंटरव्यू क्रैक करने में सर कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं आती है मेरे ख्याल से. सर कोई भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन हो, ये जो 3 है टाइप्स हैं, ये बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है. सर फर्स्ट पर्सनालिटी, सेकंड कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स, 3 प्रेजेंस ऑफ माइंड, एंड क्विक रिस्पॉन्स करना सर बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है. तो सर मैं यही सजेस्ट करूंगी कि सर इन चीजों पे अगर फोकस किया जाए तो सर इंटरव्यू क्रैक करने में सर कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं आएगी.
Ashita, what's your opinion regarding same?
Yes, sir. What Shweta has said is right. See, in interview, they are basically looking at you and how you are, and what you're speaking, how you're presenting yourself, how you're walking, because that is the only part of you that is visible to them when you're giving an interview. How knowledgeable you are, kitna knowledge hai aapko, if you're aware of the current affairs which are happening right now around the world, if you're aware of, because for group discussion, I think it is very essential to be, aware of what is happening around you. So they basically test you how well knowledgeable you are about your environment, and how you present yourself, how confident you are while you are carrying yourself. That is also very important. How you carry your posture, how you're talking, and if you're cross talking also during group discussion, what is the way, if you're not being too violent, that I think that comes under soft skills. How you are talking to someone who is present in front of you. So it is basically how you present your overall personality towards them. So I think what Shweta said is right, sir.
Okay, because you are in the world best environment, IIT Jammu, where teaching and learning, I think, is at the peak. So what type of grooming, what type of techniques they people use to groom their students? Do you have MBA program at Jammu?
No, sir. They have IIM Jammu.
Okay. Yes, in certain IITs, they also have their MBA program. Okay. So what the difference you realize compared to IIMT and IIT, how they are going to groom their students, and what type of different traits and techniques they are using to groom their students, and where we are lacking in compared to IIT culture, IIT environment, where we are lacking at IIMT?
Sir, Since I have been in the MBA program, so about BTech, and since I'm working in IIT, now IIT, I just sit in the administration office. You know, like administration office, they have, I don't know how many number of offices are there. They have a very vast, area of every department they are having. If I talk about BTech, mechanical, BTech, because abhi bhi I am doing recruiting for associate professors. So we have a list of applicants and all that. And then they have a lot of positions. They have an associate professor, they have a senior lab attendant, they have a junior lab attendant, and then their labs are I don't know, those labs are something I've never seen in my life, sir. You actually feel like, okay, what is this lab? You can't even make out what that lab is. I have to because हम corridor में चल रहे होते हैं, हम तो MBA के हैं, obviously we don't have any idea, but their labs are vast, and I think they pay a lot of attention. They give importance on students for doing research work. They say, you get the knowledge and then you apply that knowledge, because हम लोग there are around of a lot of patents are applied through IITs. IITs patents के लिए बहुत apply. They do lot of research work. I think यहाँ पे research work ज़्यादा होता है IITs में. It is not just about giving out, you have done your 4-year course, okay, you get your degree. They are actually, the person who is graduating from IIT is himself a scholar, once he is passing out, because they side by side they are studying also, plus there are a lot of research work going on. And the professors, they are actually they are very motivating. They are motivating kids, the students, ki okay, you can do research on this, let's publish a research paper on this topic, because we are reading that. We don't deal directly with the academics or the professors or the students, but the paperwork which is to be done is done by us in the administration office. So we are seeing that. And I think they concentrate more on research work apart from the subject knowledge. तो research work बहुत है IITs में, and I think it is of every IIT. They because once you enter IIT, you will see innovations. Once I remember when it was my first day of IIT Jammu, and you will see normally flower pots, they decorate there कि अच्छा लगे. Now what they have done, they have taken plastic bottles and they have cut them into half, and all of them are cut into half. They are attached like this, ऐसे align करके, and they have planted small plants in that. And there is a single pipe which is dripping water to all the bottles, so which I found very innovating. And for 5 minutes I was just standing and staring at that, how they have done this. So I think that is what IIT IIT को normal college से different करता है, because it is all about innovations. They have their own, I don't know, they invent things. And हमारे जो fans भी हैं, like they have an auditorium and they have put fans, और वो fans they are not normal fans which we have in our houses or offices. I don't think they are mechanically built or something, and they are very big. They are huge. They are not something you can find in a normal shop and say, you can go to a shop and say, मुझे बड़ा fan चाहिए, because it is bigger than that also. And when I asked them कि how did you get this, they said this is made by us only. We have made this. And I see each, every other day there is something happening in some department. Students are busy painting. If you ask them, they are BTech mechanical students, and they are painting, they are decorating the walls, they are painting, and कुछ ना कुछ चल रहा होता है. They have their own newspapers, there are events going on. I think there are a lot of, sometimes even I am confused कि I am in this IIT and there are things which I am not aware of. Things are being done side by side and you are just not aware. There is a technical team, there is a media team, and they are doing something, कुछ ना कुछ चल रहा है. And there is a team, there is a horticulture team which I came across first time in IIT Jammu. So I think they are very innovative, creative. Everybody is innovative, creative, and to take out that, to take out that somewhere is what I found IIT was all about. So this was the thing I noticed here, working here.
Okay. Harshita, one thing more, that,
Yes.
okay, employment in private sector and public sector, we generally talk about employment, corporate employment, private sector employment, public sector employment. But now, since last 5-6 years, government focuses on startups. And we have also seen that in every week, one startup converted into unicorn. Okay. And being a student of MBA, being a management graduate, what do you suggest for your juniors, how they can engage in startup process, how they can launch their own startup? What are the requirements for setting up an startup, and how they can make their career by setting up a startup?
Uh, Firstly, I would say I think this was a question in my mind also when I completed my MBA. I said, it is a generation of startups. So even I should, get into this. I should get some idea, and so I started thinking upon that. But it is not very easy. It is not very easy. I think the students are
But in
aware.
IIT, it is very common. No? Most of the IITians, they go for startup.
They go for startups. In fact, before joining IIT, the organization I was working it was also a startup. They were alumni of IIT Bombay, and they had opened a Avanti coaching center. It's very famous in South. So they said they wanted to spread their, spread it in North also. So that is why they hired us. But I think they were not able to get a very good response. So they actually dropped their plan. And so that is how I ended up with them. And then I went to IIT Jammu. So, startup is, first you have to be very selective on what you actually want to do if you're wanting to do startups. Because Abhi, we have seen Shark Tank also, not all startups are very nice and worth investing, because you need an investor when you're starting up something. You need money. So I think that is, it is a question of, if, confidence is something, and your location also matters if you're doing a startup, and how public will react, how people will take it. Because a very few startups have been succeeded, to be honest, and most of them actually fall. They don't even come to a stage, but they have a बहुत loss हो जाता है. They don't earn a lot of profit. So I think you have to be very careful if you want to do a startup also. It has to be good. It should be in the field of where you think, okay, people might be interested in this, and they will actually look to, if I'm good giving this product or a service. If it's a product, okay, maybe people need this product. If you're having thousands of products, 1,000 varieties of the same product, and you put your in that one, then obviously nobody will pay attention to it, because they are already having a lot of variety in it. And so same, it is the same for service. And startup needs a lot of thinking, actually, to be honest, because when you do a startup, you are not even aware of how people will take it or what feedback you will get. And one of the safest startup, if I tell you, will be the food startup. You can do a food startup. You will definitely get a success, because abhi tak what I am personally observing is a lot of people who have started a food joint, or they are investing in food restaurants, and they have opened mini caravans also. They are doing pretty well for that. For a food startup, yes. But other than that, you will have to think about it, provided your idea has to be very creative. Because Abhi, you are sitting here and thinking of this plan. There are 100 others who have already implemented that in the market, and they have not succeeded. You don't know it, because ऐसे पता नहीं कितने startups आके चले गए हैं, and you're not even aware of that. So you have to be very good in your idea, and how people have spoken. If you see Shark Tank India, there are startups who are very good in explaining everything, what they actually want. in their startup, and some are very confused. Some don't even know what they want in their future. So it is the planning is very important if you want to go for a startup.
Very nice, very nice. Shweta, you did your summer internship from Sher Khan.
Yes, sir. Shade
ठीक है?
Khan.
Sher Khan. It is a renowned share broking company, I think.
Yes, sir.
Suppose now the students have a different type of tendency. They try to avoid the summer internship. They purchase summer internship report anywhere else and put at the time of Viva VC. We all know. So what would you like to suggest these two MBA students? What is the importance of summer training, summer internship, and how summer internship in any good organization is helpful in their career build-up?
Okay, sir.
Summer internship, how it may be helpful for their placement, for their career build-up?
सर समर इंटर्नशिप सर मेरे ख्याल से तो सर काफी इम्पोर्टेंट होता है, क्योंकि सर वहाँ पे कहीं ना कहीं सर हम एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से जुड़ते हैं। तो सर हम जब जुड़ते हैं तो सर हमें पता चलता है कि हमें काम कैसे करना है। एक देखा जाए तो स्टार्टिंग होती है हमारी वहीं से, काम करने की स्टार्टिंग होती है वहां से। तो सर हमें पता चलता है कि हमें हाँ कितने टाइम के लिए काम करना है, कैसे काम करना है, कैसे हमें कैसे हमारे एम्प्लॉय जो हमारे जो कलीग होंगे वो कैसे होंगे, और सिर्फ यही सारी चीजें, और हमें कैसे काम करना रहेगा, और कितनी प्रॉब्लम्स आएंगी अभी आगे चल के, अभी कितनी अभी हम देख रहे हैं। तो सर कहीं ना कहीं ये जरूरी होता है। तभी सर देखिए, अगर हम डायरेक्ट जाते हैं किसी कंपनी में तो सर बहुत सारी प्रॉब्लम्स आती है, और इंटर्नशिप के थ्रू अगर जाते हैं, सर हमने कहीं से ऑलरेडी इंटर्नशिप किया हुआ है, तो कहीं ना कहीं वो इंटर्नशिप जो है एक जॉब की ही तरह होता है सर। वहां पे भी हम वही चीज सीखते हैं जो एक हम जॉब करने जाते हैं। तो स्टार्टिंग में हमें जब फ्रेशर होते हैं तो सीखते हैं। तो सर कहीं ना कहीं ये बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट होता है, इंटर्नशिप बहुत ही ज्यादा फायदेमंद होता है। सर हम वहाँ पे ये चीज सीखते हैं कि कैसे काम करना है, कितने घंटे हमें काम करना रहेगा एक्चुअल में, और कैसे काम करना रहेगा। तो सर ये इम्पोर्टेंट है सर, काफी ज्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट है। तभी सर एक फ्रेशर का सर टैग जो होता है ना सर, वो बहुत ही मुश्किल होता है, क्योंकि सर जब फ्रेशर का टैग लगता है तो सर जॉब भी मिलने में बहुत मुश्किल रहता है। अगर हाँ इंटर्नशिप किया है तो उन्हें लगता है कि हाँ ये कहीं ना कहीं ये जो इंसान है ये पहले से काम किया हुआ है, ये इसको नॉलेज है कि हाँ ऐसे काम करना है, इतने घंटे काम करना है। और तो सर ये इम्पोर्टेंट है मेरे ख्याल से।
Okay.
यस सर।
Which you want to convey to your juniors? Your final message which you want to convey your juniors, Shweta?
यस सर, मैं यही कहना चाहूंगी कि सर क्लासेस जो होती हैं उन्हें सर प्रॉपर अटेंड करना चाहिए, और पीडीपी क्लासेस पे सर फोकस करना चाहिए। बाकी सब्जेक्ट्स पे भी फोकस करना चाहिए ऑफ कोर्स, बट पीडीपी क्लासेस पे ज़्यादा फोकस करना चाहिए, क्योंकि हम एक एमबीए स्टूडेंट्स हैं। तो सर हमें क्या होता है कि कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स पे, पर्सनैलिटी पे ज़्यादा फोकस करना चाहिए। प्लस सर हमें आगे चल के, क्योंकि इसकी सबसे ज़्यादा रिक्वायरमेंट है सर किसी भी फील्ड में हो, वो चाहे एमबीए कर या फिर बीटेक किसी भी सर फील्ड में हो, तो पीडीपी क्लासेस सर बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी होती हैं। और साथ ही साथ और भी सब्जेक्ट्स की नॉलेज होनी बहुत ज़रूरी है, क्योंकि आगे चल के वो सारी चीज़ें कहीं ना कहीं हमें कनेक्ट करती हैं। हम जहाँ भी जिस भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से जुड़ते हैं, जहाँ भी काम करते हैं, तो सर और अपने पर्सनालिटी पे फोकस करना चाहिए ज़्यादातर, क्योंकि सर मेरे ख्याल से पर्सनालिटी अगर अच्छी रहती है, प्लस आपका कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स अच्छा है और प्रेजेंस ऑफ माइंड अच्छा है, तो सर आगे चल के डेफिनेटली सर जॉब मिलनी ही मिलनी है। Yes,
Good.
sir.
Harshita, your final message to your juniors?
Sir, I would ask them to what Shweta has said, similar to her. You have to pay attention to your classes and listen to your teachers, because I think we have a very good faculty um who are there to always guide you, and they are always present here to correct your mistakes, and even in any doubts, you have a very good faculty, and you should always listen to them. Plus PDP classes are very important, PDP classes, because PDP classes, एक क्लास में ही what you are learning is actually going to enhance your personality at a very different level. So PDP classes are very important. Pay attention to what teachers are saying, and yes, wherever you go in future, wherever you end up in your career, You always need to have a learning approach, that is because once you get out of your college and you enter an organization, that will not be the end of your career or your education or your things which you're learning. You should always have a learning approach, कि आज क्या नया सीख सकता हूँ या आज क्या नया सीख सकती हूँ. So वो approach होना बहुत ज़रूरी है. So with that, and PDP classes are fun also, when you end up having debates and you get to know current affairs पता चलते हैं. You can, if you're not very interested in reading newspapers, you always get those because current affairs बहुत ज़रूरी है to appear in interviews. So that is also very important. Stay in touch with current affairs till the time you enter an interview, because वो भी बहुत beneficial होता है. And yes, always listen and respect your faculty because they are very amazing. That is also.
Okay. Thank you, Vida. Thank you. Now I would like to request Chaube sir, please present vote of thanks for today's event. Respected Chaube sir, please sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. My dear, my ex-students and now budding executives of corporate and academia, Shweta and Harshita. We are really delighted to have you here in our discussion forum with the alumni. And we are really grateful to you that you have decided to join us on this forum and shared your thoughts, views, opinion, and given us a lot of insight about what worked for you, whatever you have learned in IMT, and what did not work. So to that extent, we are really grateful to you that you have told us that what you have learned here in the areas like PDP classes, IT classes in terms of MS Excel, MS Office, and then learning current affairs, that is BNR classes, which generally you all must have felt at that time quite neglected one. But now it is quite heartening to hear from you that this is very much essential in cracking interviews. So thank you so much. And we are really learning about our own about the areas wherein we need to improve upon. And to that extent, we are really grateful to you. And we really feel sad that we are not able to, your juniors have not been able to join you here during this discussion. Particularly, you will appreciate that their PUT examination is commencing from Wednesday. So barely 2 days left. And as you all also must have undergone this kind of academic pressure. So I'm sure you are going to pardon your juniors, and definitely sometime later they'll be joining and they'll be benefited. They'll be happy to learn from your experiences. And finally, we are really grateful to you that you have spared your valuable time, and moreover on Sunday, the weekend. It's a great contribution on your part to your institute, your professors. And thank you so much. And we definitely wish you all the best in your future career, and hope for much more interactions in time to come. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot, Shweta. Thanks, Harshita. And over to Professor Singhal sir.
Thank you, Chaube sir.